Next, we're going to talk about form subdivisions. Form subdivisions are used to represent the format of the item being cataloged. Like the genre headings that we talked about last week, form subdivisions represent what the item is, rather than what the item is about. Some common form subdivisions are things like encyclopedias, dictionaries, fiction, juvenile fiction, biography, periodicals, things like that you can add on to your subject heading to tell your users not only what the item is about, but also what it is. Let's look at some examples of headings with form subdivisions. For example, in this first heading, Indians of North America is a topical subject heading with a form subdivision of fiction, which lets your user know that this is a fictional work about Indians of North America, not nonfiction. In the second example, dictionaries is the form subdivision added on to the main topical heading of English language. In marked format, form subdivisions are represented by a subfield V. So for our first example, we have a topical heading with a 650 tag. The main subject heading goes in subfield A, Indians of North America, and then subfield B is for the form subdivision of fiction. In the second example, it's also a topical subject heading, which is why it has a 650 tag. English language goes in subfield A, and then the form subdivision of dictionaries goes in subfield B. It's important to remember that some subdivisions can be used as topical subdivisions if it's what the item is about, and they can also be used as form subdivisions if they are what the item is. For example, if you had a book that was about letters that military wives wrote to their husbands throughout history, and it analyzed the significance of these letters and talked about them, but wasn't just a collection of letters, you could use the subject heading string Army Spouses, United States Correspondence. In this case, the correspondence would be a topical subdivision because the item is about correspondence. If, on the other hand, you had a book that was a collection of letters that military wives wrote to their husbands, then you could still use that same string, Army Spouses, United States Correspondence. But in this case, correspondence would be a form subdivision because the book is a collection of letters. Now these two headings look the same, but the difference comes when you want to create the mark tags for these headings. As you can see, in the top example, correspondence has a subfield X because it is a topical subdivision. However, in the second example, correspondence goes in subfield V because it is a form subdivision.